This is one of the reasons why you shouldn't trust people who go on X or LinkedIn and scream AI SEO is completely different from normal SEO. Or maybe they're trying to sell you in person. You need to hire an AI SEO specialist instead of just a normal SEO. It's completely different. Pay attention to me. It's so different. So that's what I'm sharing with you on this episode of the show. And also 2 very cool, brand new SEO experiments testing how ChatGPT gets its results. And this comes from Search Engine Roundtable from the legendary Barry Schwartz. Barry Schwartz came on this podcast back in March to talk about Google's March core algorithm update. That was episode 621 of this show. And he wrote this article. It is ChatGPT using Google search results? So if you're wondering, do I need to do completely different things for ChatGPT, for other AIs, especially ChatGPT? That's what this article will answer. The article starts, I am seeing numerous tests now that seem to prove that OpenAI's ChatGPT search feature is using Google Search's index or search results pages to serve its own search results. First, Abhishek posted about this early this week on X. He explained how he created a new page with a made-up term that was never indexed before. He then indexed that page within Google Search Console so that only Google Search Console would be aware of it. After Google Search Console indexed it, ChatGPT almost immediately became aware of that page that didn't exist and was not submitted to OpenAI. And he shares screenshots. So this is from Abhishek on X. He says, proof that ChatGPT Plus is secretly Google powered. This is my hidden page experiment. I coined a nonsense word, and he shares a screenshot of that nonsense word. It's mushkalipakalayak. It's a nonsense word. I then put it on a page not linked anywhere. I forced Google to index it via Search Console, left all other engines unaware. By the way, if you don't know how to do that, you just make sure you're connected to Google Search Console. Use the top bar in Google Search Console once you're connected. It's the inspect any URL in your domain. Put in your URL, and then there will be a big button that says request indexing, and that is what you use. So Abhishek did that. Then number 4, asked ChatGPT Plus to define the term. It quoted my hidden page verbatim. I ran the same query in Bing, DDG, Yandex, no results. And he shares all these screenshots of it. And while this isn't the same exact thing as ChatGPT without search results, 1, ChatGPT often looks up things within search results, and 2, training data for ChatGPT is consistently refreshed. Here's another experiment, and this is back to the article from Barry Schwartz now. Aleyda Solis did a similar thing and published her findings on her blog and shared this on X as well. She said, confirmed, ChatGPT uses Google SERP snippets for its answers. She basically created new content, checked to make sure no one indexed it yet, including Bing or ChatGPT. Then when Google indexed it, it showed up in ChatGPT and not yet Bing. She said that if you see the answer in ChatGPT, it is exactly the same as the Google search results snippet. Plus, ChatGPT says in its explanation that it is grabbing a snippet from a search engine. And so Aleyda writes on X, confirmed, ChatGPT uses Google SERP snippets for its answers. Here's a test I've run with proof. I've run a simple but straightforward to follow test that confirms the reliance of ChatGPT on Google SERP snippets for its answers, showing that 1, ChatGPT pretty much was able to give an answer only after Google had started to show the page in its SERPs, while the page wasn't being indexed in Bing yet. 2, ChatGPT confirmed it was providing an answer which was incomplete by fetching a snippet from the publicly indexed version of the page via web search that previews the page content, likely from search engine indexing. And that was quoted from ChatGPT. 3, when comparing the snippet answers given by ChatGPT versus one of Google SERPs, I confirmed it was the same. And then she adds, I guess this is yet another reason why traditional SEO is not dead, and shows once again how ahead Google is, not only with their search index, but the way Gemini is able to just go and fetch the page to give an accurate answer, even when the page wasn't yet indexed by Google still, rather than an incomplete, inaccurate one like ChatGPT relying on search results snippets from Google. Now, lots of people who are mad at Google will say that Gemini also does not give complete, reliable answers. That is a subject for a different podcast. Aleyda shares a screenshot, and it is ChatGPT quoting. It's an incomplete quote from a SERP snippet. So the prompt is, you mentioned that this is the prompt to ChatGPT. You mentioned that you were able to fetch a snippet from the publicly indexed version of the page. Indexed where? Where is that snippet being shown? And ChatGPT says, likely from search engine indexing. And it reads, free LLMs.txt generation tools learning AI search, which is the exact page title that Aleyda created. And then it says, for that, here's a list of free reliable LLMs.txt generators to try out. Write Sonic LLMs generator, tool by Write Sonic, generate LLMs. This is the only visible content from the snippet, and it confirms that Write Sonic LLMs generator is the only tool listed on the page. But what's interesting is that the quote, for that, here's a list of free reliable LLMs.txt generators to try out. Write Sonic LLM generator, tool by Write Sonic, generate LLMs. It is exactly the same as the snippet that Google search has, exactly the same text. And so this article from Barry Schwartz finishes, as far as we were told, Bing powers ChatGPT. It would be weird for Google to let ChatGPT use its index. I did ask Sam Altman from OpenAI, but I did not hear back. And Barry Schwartz tweets at Sam Altman, Sama, is it true? Is ChatGPT using Google's index and not Bing? See above, and did not hear back. And then Barry Schwartz writes, this does remind me of when Microsoft was caught stealing Google's search results in 2011. And if you don't know that story, it's pretty interesting. So the short version is Google noticed suspicious similarities between, this is when Microsoft was caught stealing Google's results. Google noticed suspicious similarities between their search results and Bing's search results. They planted some fake results for Bing to sniff out via their browser and toolbars and caught Bing taking the bait. They told Danny Sullivan and the public what Bing was doing, showing all the evidence. Google called Bing a cheap imitation of Google. Bing denied it and said they find this as a spy novelesque stunt to generate extreme outliers in tail query ranking and take it as a backhanded compliment. Pretty funny. So with this ChatGPT using Google's results, the number one way to be shown in ChatGPT is to optimize, do your best optimizing for search engines, optimizing for Google. And if you optimize well for Google, you'll likely do a good job optimizing well for Bing. Google's algorithms, pretty much the gold standard for getting organic visibility. Now, I'll say that with AI SEO, the only major thing that I see as being different, this is the only, and I talked about this yesterday with my guest on the podcast, the only major thing that I see as being different is how you can use very inexpensive press release distribution. Write your own press release. Use, again, a $5 or $15 press release distribution service on Fiverr or SEO Clerks. The press release that you write is syndicated to all these different low quality places because you're paying very little money for the distribution. These places, oftentimes, they're not good enough to be quoted in normal Google search, but AI will synthesize the press release being shown in all these places and basically quote what you write in the press release as if it is fact. So if you want to influence people on why your brand is great, you write a press release about how your brand is so good for this specific service or product, things that people will search. You pay very little money for press release distribution. The press release gets distributed. And then when people search on Google, an AI overview is generated referencing what you said in your press release as if it is publicly known fact rather than a quote from a press release. And that's pretty different from normal SEO. But with that said, if you want to just do the Pareto of it, the 20% of things that get 80% of the results, it's just optimize your best for Google's algorithms, and then you will optimize well for most, if not all, other information retrieval tools. And that is everything that I got for you on this episode of the show. If you want to learn how to optimize best for Google search, If you want to learn how to do search engine optimization that gets you customers, that gets you users, that gets you leads, check out my 13.5-hour course, Compact Keywords, compactkeywords.com. I've been adding a lot of testimonials to the landing page. This one I added just last night. I was up until 1:30 last night, improving the Compact Keywords landing page and adding things to the Compact Keywords product. I added a common mistakes area to the on-page SEO section of Compact Keywords. Common mistakes that I see people making, and I added that so that people won't make them to Compact Keywords. And this is the testimonial that I added to the site last night.
I wanted to give a review for Compact Keywords. This class has been absolutely incredible. Edward Strum, he's put in 9 months of heart and soul. It's amazing wisdom. He's so motivated. I actually, within the first week and a half, I made over $1,200 just from making the backlink section. How to get posts, press releases, expert quotes, just that paid for the class and more within the first 2 weeks. I've used it for landing pages, and on top of his amazing advice, he's just so sincere and so genuine. He's really there to help you and to explain things. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Thank you, Zach, for that testimonial. Thank you, everybody, for watching and for listening. This is episode 752 of The Edward Show, 752 days in a row doing this legendary podcast. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.